All right, welcome everybody to the Convo With Crown podcast show, ladies and gentlemen. We are back, and we are here with the certified financial planner, man. This man is a financial planning guru, man. I met him at InvestFest this past year, and he was just dropping gems, man, on the podcast that I was shooting with my boy Smitty.
The GOAT.
Yes, the GOAT, man. And without further ado, man, let me introduce y'all to Mario Payne, man, the financial guru.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate
the love,
you reaching
man.
out for me.
Yeah, little Midwest swing, Cincinnati, Milwaukee.
Oh,
you know
yes,
what I'm
sir.
saying?
Yeah, you know, the Midwest got to stay locked in.
Yeah.
So what's going on, Mario, man? Tell them about yourself, man. What you got going on?
Yeah, man, just blessed, man. I'm a certified financial planner. I've been practicing for almost 20 years, man. So, I know I look like I'm in my 30s, but I'm 44 this year with the great ways, but just helping people, man. Like, my goal in life is to give impact. Like, when you give impact, you help people. When you help people, it's reciprocity, man. So I'm just here to share my little knowledge and help people grow with their finances.
Absolutely. That's what's up, man. How long have you, so you said 20 years. What made you get into the financial literacy and the financial planning industry?
Crazy, man. So like when I went to college at Tennessee State, shout out to my HBCUs. When I went to Tennessee State, I interned with a company called General Electric.
Okay.
And so I worked for them for like 6 months. And they gave me and 2 other people an assignment, like to basically kind of save them money, right?
Okay.
So between me and 2 other people, we saved them $4.5 million.
Wow.
I know, right? So, but tell me, what do you think they gave me for saving them $4.5 million?
So they should have busted down at least 10% of that.
Right, man. I got a pizza party.
Oh, no. See, hey, well, that's the curse about working in corporate America, kind of, right?
Yeah. So that day was like, you know what? Corporate America ain't for me. Like, so how can I save people money or make people money and have them get the profits and I get a piece of it? I ain't get a promotion. I ain't get a Friday off. And I don't even like pizza. Like, I'm not eating pizza. I like Chipotle, Cava, I'm good. But pizza, not so much. So yes, like that was my mind made up. So I started applying for companies, for financial advisors. I got hired in 2007 with a company called Edward Jones, and the rest is history.
That's what's up, man. I know that had the sting though, man. Like you make a company for $1 million.
Yeah.
And they only acknowledge you with a pizza party. Did you feel like the need to want to address like the higher ups at that time, or did you just like let it go and be like,
no, let it go like that? So like everybody has that aha moment, and like corporate America life, that was my aha moment. Yeah. Like some people like corporate America, some people like. I'm a talker. I like talking to people, I like educating people. So like that part, like the water cooler conversations, finding out about people, seeing how I can help them. Like I like that part, but like the part where I'm working 40, 50, sometimes 60 hours, I'm getting paid. At that time, I was getting paid like 55 grand, which in 2007 was great for a person right out of college. Not bad. But I saved y'all $4.5 million. What are we doing here? So yeah, so that was my aha moment, man. And it took me about 6 months to get hired with Edward Jones. And once that happened, I started helping people in their own pockets. They get paid, I get paid, everybody wins.
That's what's up, man. So just educate the people about Edward Jones. I'm familiar, but let them know what Edward Jones is.
Yeah. So Edward Jones is a brokerage company. They're one of the top 5 investment firms in America. So they have, at that time, they had like 11,000 financial advisors. Okay. They're probably at 20,000. So I worked for them from 2007 to 2013, and then I started my own practice. So since 2013, I have my own practice. I'm registered with the SEC. That means I manage hundreds of millions of dollars of assets. So I'm not like on the internet just saying stuff like I'm a fiduciary in real life. I manage money. I got to get audited every year by the SEC. Yeah. So like I have employees, of course. We have 17 staff members, and we just help people grow their investments. We create tax strategies, and we just want people to get wealth, whether that be in the stock market, whether that be in real estate. And what separates me from most other people is that most financial advisors, we get paid when we manage your money in the stock market, right? But since my practice is so loud and it's other ways for you to make money besides the stock market, we actually try to find a way to have your money grow but have it go differently, right? So we do a lot of real estate. We help clients with real estate deals because real estate gives you triple tax advantage. Do you know what that is? Let me break that down.
No,
all right, cool. Yeah, so triple tax advantage is when I buy something, I get to write it off of my taxes. So let's say I buy a $100,000 rental house, I get to write off that $100,000, right? That's one tax advantage. Number two, the money was growing, it's basically tax deferred. So as it's growing, so that $100,000 house is now worth $200,000. As it grows, I'm not paying taxes. I'm deferring my taxes to down the road, right? That's number two. And then number three, if you have things structured right, then when you sell it, you don't pay taxes either with the 1031 exchange, or we do, you just, whatever it's worth, you borrow against it, take out the money and do something else, and you don't pay taxes on that. It's like a tax-free loan. And then the fourth, which is the play of the plays, we set up a trust. So if you set up a trust, then it bypasses to your family, and they don't pay any taxes on it. So like literally, real estate is the only thing that you can do. But financial advisors, they don't want you to do real estate because if you take $100,000 out your investment account, they lose money, right? So yeah, so we're just totally different. And I think that's why we have one of the largest Black-owned investment firms in America, is because we want people, like all my clients get at least one piece of property so we can have that tax advantage.
Man, that's so much to unpack right there, man. So much. Now, I've invested in real estate, right? But when I initially invested, it was just because it was the thing I heard to do. You get what I mean? Without no clear, like, I'm going to say I had some guidance, but not a clear path of guidance. So when you say to invest in real estate, right, are you essentially saying not to ever sell your real estate? Never sell it.
What? Never, ever. I know we're that ladder right now. Let me ask you a question, Crown. If you had a choice between having one house or two, what would you have?
I'll have two.
So why'd you sell your house then? If you got rental property, right? But people need the cash. But if things are structured properly, you can have it where you take out the cash and not pay taxes. So what we do is that we were structured where you have your business, because if you have a business, when you take money out, if it's interest, you get to write it off. So it's basically a interest-free loan. So let's say my house I bought for $100,000. Right now it's worth $300,000. You know, instead of selling it, just take out that $200,000 equity, right? Because, 100, 300, 200,000. But they're going to charge me interest. But if it's through my business, then the interest I pay is a tax deduction. So you might be charging me, let's say $5,000 or $6,000 a year of interest, but that's a $5,000 or $6,000 tax write-off. And the $2,000 I pulled, I don't pay taxes on, because if it's a loan, you don't pay taxes on the loan. So now that $200,000 buy you another property. And then buy you another property. That's how you build wealth, and the IRS is your biggest business partner, because when you buy those properties, you do a cost segregation study and you write it all off. So now that $200,000, let's say I buy an $800,000 property, right? Because I don't pay all $200,000. That's dumb. So and we could talk about that as well. So once I do that, now that's $800,000 of tax deductions I can get over a 5-year time period. So I have $200,000, but I get $800,000 of tax deduction. Who does that? Real estate does that.
Real estate. They always say that you make money at the deal, at the deal, and not when you sell the property. Yeah. And I knew that when I bought a fourplex, a 4-unit. And I think when I initially bought it, well, I know for certain that I just wasn't prepared, and I just didn't have that guidance like you're saying. So, and I bought it with equity. You get what I'm saying? So I bought the place. It was about $250,000. And then when I bought it, it was worth like $310,000. You know what I mean? But the issue I ran into was the tenants, man. They ran me like a muck. It was like babysitting adults. You know what I'm saying? So it was, I understood, like, as I went, about having your team in place as far as like property management team, and that's a whole nother you know what I mean, that's a whole nother discussion as far as like making sure that you're not getting scammed by people, that they actually checking up on the property, because I bought that property literally right before I moved here. So I didn't have a time to actually like nurture it myself and have my hands involved as much. But I really regret selling that property.
Of course,
Like, I sold it, and even when I sold it for $450. But I know it's worth probably $550 now.
Yeah. And so a couple of things. So number one, anybody with real estate, you guys, look into my eyes.
Listen to this, man.
Get you a property management company, right? So it's usually 10% of your rental income. So if I'm bringing in $3,000, it's going to cost me $300. But you can't put a price on stress. And I'm pretty sure you were stressed out babysitting people.
I was flying back home every 2 weeks when I moved here.
Wow.
I was back and forth home, making sure I got my rent and, trying to find like a legitimate property management company. It became a headache, but I understand so much the value in real estate because it's really a tool to use in order to scale your financial situation.
Yeah. So it sounds like it actually it costs you way more money than 10% flying back and forth, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So money that you can make back, but time that you can't make back. When people say time is money, I say no. Time is time, and time you can never get back. Money you can get back, but not time. But with that property management company, it stops all those headaches. Right. Like I said, that's also a tax deduction as well. So you're paying for something, and something's coming out your pocket, but you're getting it back when you do your taxes. So it's very, very important to get a property management company. And I always say, like, learn from me. So again, I've been managing money in some capacity for literally 19 years. Like the first house me and my wife bought, we made the same mistake. Yeah. So we bought a house in 2007. We sold it in 2010. We paid $185,000 for it. We sold it for $310,000. Our neighbors we're still friends with now, because they're clients of ours. So they just took out some equity. That house is worth $950,000, and our house was about 400 square feet bigger. So that $185,000, basically 16 years later, would have been $1 million. So we used that money to buy a bigger house, which is great, and we kind of took out cash. But like that alone, it's probably 3 or 4 extra properties we could have had right now. Yeah. So I'm not just saying this out of like theory and like pointing my finger at somebody. Like, learn from my mistakes. Right. Like, even a person who manages hundreds of millions of dollars, I make mistakes, and that's why it's important to get a mentor. Right. So like if I had a mentor back then, he or she would have said, "Don't do this, and this is why." If you had a mentor, he or she would have said, "Don't do this and why." So sometimes us, not saying you were being cheap, but I was being cheap, but sometimes us being cheap and trying to penny pitch actually costs us in the long haul.
It definitely costs more in the long run. Yeah. I've just going through those processes, I realized that, like, I'm shopping around for, contractors or whatnot, and then you find yourself piecing contractors together. Yeah. That costs you more of your time, and then you babysitting the contractors, and it's like, man, if I would have just went with this company, the legitimate company that told me this price, that was probably too high, but it probably is there for a reason. That price point might be there for a reason.
Yeah. Not for sure. And to take it a step further, for all my people in real estate, if you guys are like you getting rental income, it doesn't stop there. If you're doing any remodeling or you're going to buy another property, do it all over again, you need to have 2 different companies. You need to have your real estate operating company that's collecting the income and that's paying the property management company. But now you need a second construction company. See, the reason why is because when you're buying those contractors right now, you're doing it, you're paying them, and it's a GC, so you only get one write-off. But if your operating company was doing it, then the operating company is paying you as a construction company. So now that's a write-off for your operating company. But now that construction company, you have them now as subcontractors, not GCs. Now you get to 1099 them. So you get to write off everything. When they lease the equipment, it goes to you, then they lease it. So you get to write all that off as well. So the same money that you're spending, you get to write off way more if you have a construction company and an operating company.
Wow. So how difficult is that to actually? So it's the same as setting up an LLC, like any other LLC. Yeah,
it's paperwork. Now again, I would say a person do it themselves, because if you make a mistake and IRS comes back, then you in some trouble, my brother.
No,
but not. I mean, you set up another LLC. You have just two different businesses.
Is that services that you provide and offer people?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. We have internal attorneys that create everything. So again, because we are like legitimate, we're not just like theory. Like we do it for you. We're it's a done for you service. So we create your operating agreements, which you can talk about if you want to. We create those two different companies. We create the contract. So you as a operating company is paying, and then it's a transaction. So you could be paying from one business to another. You just transfer money from one account to another, but still, like, we create all that documentation. You see, from an IRS standpoint, most people get in trouble not because of the strategy of what they do, but it's because of documentation.
And structure, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, structure goes a long way. Yeah. But without structure, you need documentation, right? Fair. So if I'm building a house, I don't put up the structure first. What do I do first?
You gotta look at the blueprint
and the floor plan. There you go. Yeah, all my Jay-Z fans out there. Yeah,
man. So you go all the way in. So you could take, like, what is your typical client? Do you have like career-based clients for the most part, or entrepreneurs, and how do you deal with those two different type of people?
Yeah, now great question. A mixture of both, and they are totally different. Like, so W-2 employees, they're definitely more give me help. You know, compared to entrepreneurs are way more hands-on. Okay. So a W-2 employee is like, hey, I got my corporate job going on. I got corporate America. Give me guidance and do this for me, and I will pay you.
Yeah.
Love W-2 employees because they're hands-off.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurs, because, you know, you're working in your business already, you're successful, you want to be hands-on, right? You want to be in the skirt. Yeah, you want to be in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? You want to be in the mix, right? Yeah, you want to be in the kitchen. So love entrepreneurs, and we have, you know, clients of all walks of life, but definitely entrepreneurs are different. But yeah, as far as typical client, I mean, we you know, typically as a W-2 employee, you know, really to kind of take advantage of what we do, you need to be making 150,000 or more, right? Because from a tax code standpoint, you're not rewarded as a W-2 employee unless you're making that type of money, because you have no write-offs. Right. Only thing that you can really do as a W-2 employee is either put money in your 401k, which we love, then also an HSA account, which we love too, because that's also triple tax savings. But it's only so much you can do, right? And then also, when I put money in my 401k, it's my money. If I get real estate, it's not my money, it's the bank's money. Right. So my 401k, I can put up to, you know, if you're 50 or above, you can put up to 32,000 a year. If you're under 50, you can put up to 25,000. But if I don't got 25,000, I got 5,000. You know, but with a house, I can buy a $100,000 house with 20,000 down. So with less money, I can buy the same thing. So unless you're making a large amount of money, the tax code is really not in your shoes if you're a W-2. That's why I recommend all W-2 employees get some type of side job, get some type of gig, so you have an LLC. So now you're able to take advantage of having a house payment, having a mortgage. So now you have the home office deduction, right? Now you're able to do the Augusta rule, where your business rents out to you personally your house for 14 days, and that's a larger tax deduction. It's so much things that you can do as a W-2 if you have that side job. And as for entrepreneurs, you know, then we just deal with them.
Yeah. So I just literally had that. I was going to ask you, because I just had this conversation with my sister. You know what I mean? And I come from a family, they, like, I'm one of the only entrepreneurs in the family. I probably got like another cousin that's an entrepreneur. But for the most part, my family is W-2 based, career bound people. You know what I mean? And I try to, and I'm sure you know that challenge into when you getting off into entrepreneurship and you're trying to educate people like how they can basically mitigate their taxes through side jobs and, you know, having a business set up and all that. What has been your challenge with talking to people as far as like in those careers to even get them to shift to seeing that that advantage? Because like the rich people are playing a different game. Like different. The wealthy are playing a totally different money game.
Yeah, totally different.
How do you find it like a challenge talking to a career based a W-2 employee?
Yeah,
shifting them over.
Yeah. So a W-2 is more convincing, but when they get it, they get it. Right? An entrepreneur, you don't got to convince them, but you got to deal with just them wanting to kind of be in the mix. And sometimes you being hands off is way better. Like let the pros be pros. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's mindset though, right? So if I'm a W-2 employee, I have just a routine, right? I'm going to work. I'm reporting to my boss or my supervisor. I really can't think outside the box. I can, but I really can't. I got performance metrics. It's like routine. Yeah. So when you think outside the box, sometimes it's like, why do that for? But once they get it though. Yeah. So yeah, it's mindset, and I would say that goes for everybody, right? I have clients that are entrepreneurs that are growing, but they're just kind of stuck. Like they don't want to spend that extra $5, $10, $15, $20,000 a month on Facebook ads, right? They don't want to go to the conferences. They don't want to spend that $5, $10, $15, $20,000 on mentorship, right? So even entrepreneurs have like that mindset where they want to grow, but they want to grow at their pace, so they don't want to go the extra mile. Yeah. So I think a lot of that's mindset.
Yeah, definitely. So you've been in this game for 20 years.
Yeah.
I know you've seen how the shift in financial literacy has kind of become more prevalent in our community, right?
Yeah.
And how do you think we can keep it relevant? You know what I mean? Because I think it's so much to unpack there. Like you have people that feel like paying for mentorship is a scam, but they want to see like some growth in their life. And, you know, so you witnessing this shift over 20 years, like what's your take on it?
Man, like this might be controversial, but I hate it actually. Really? Because like a person like me, I mean, I've helped probably 3,000, like invested over 3,000 people's money over my years. Like I have skin in the game, but like a person can just be very, very marketable, lifestyle, rent a Bentley, rent a car, and you think they're all that. Niggas kind of give you just information that they got off of ChatGPT or that they found on Instagram and be wrong, and everybody think is the Bible. So like I just wish it was a better job of policing the individuals, and that's why I think a lot of bad information is out here because information is free. Right. We can all get it. It's all there, but I think it should be a better job of policing the information. Now, of course, if you got something good to say it. But I just wish the way it could be some repercussions if you're saying bad things or just things that are untrue. But from a mentorship standpoint, I don't understand it. And again, I say learn from me because I didn't get my first mentor till like 6 years ago. Really? Yeah, and then that was I did the mentorship, but I didn't execute. I didn't really execute on a mentorship until Haitian CEO Herman Dosey came around. I always say like he basically scaled me to where I am today.
Shout out to Haitian CEO.
Yeah. So had an hour pay conversation with him, just kind of breaking everything down, and he saw me on Instagram, but I mean he didn't know all I had. So I was a talking head. He was like, "Yo, you do all this stuff. Like, why don't you be on social media and why don't you talk more about tax strategies and investing? People they want to hear about other stuff besides the stock market." Yeah. And like I executed on that. He gave me a few referrals to talk to. Then my second mentor was Myron Golden. I pay him $55,000 a year. Crazy investment. My wife was like, "What the hell are we doing? We're making millions already. Why pay a person?" But I mean, it worked out between people in the room. Yeah, I've met and made relationships with, and then just kind of just hit his clout, to be honest with you. And then of course, I have another mentor, him 500 Marcus, and that's took my marketing to a whole nother level. Like when I hooked up with Marcus, I had about 11,000 followers, and now I have 42,000.
Wow!
Right?
Shout out to him, 5.
Yeah.
That's my dog.
Yeah, and that was over a few months, and it began. It's just being in the room. But can I talk about mentorship real quick though?
Yeah, man, please do. I was just gonna ask you, like, you already was making millions. Yeah. You was because on I recall you saying that you were peaked at like $1 million a year. Yeah. That's a goal for so like the 99% of the world.
Yeah.
How did that mentorship, like, what pushed you to say, you know what, I gotta go to another level?
Yeah.
With mentorship.
I was stuck. So between 5 years, I was stuck between like 1.1 and 1.4 million dollars. Just stuck. It's like, man, like so clients come and go, and it's like what can I do to provide the same service but help more people and scale? Yeah. Right. And then it's open my eyes. So it's okay. I'm managing people's money, and I'm giving these tax strategies to my clients. I'm not charging them for it though. And people pay when they pay attention.
Absolutely.
Right. So like it's been hundreds of clients that I've told them step by step, spent time with, and like I didn't charge them anything extra because they was a quote unquote investment client. But again, one of the things Herman broke down was like, hey, you're running two different businesses in one. Like if you're giving tax strategies, that's totally different than managing a person's money.
Right.
Just like if a person used as a financial advisor, they're going to pay their CPA. So if you're going to act as if you're a CPA or ask a tax strategist, charge them for it. And if they pay, they're actually going to take the information. So you actually charging them is better for you and better for them. Better for me because I'm making more money, but better for them because they're going to execute. If they execute, then they're going to make more money. Absolutely. So that was huge. But I would say it's three types of people, right? It's a person that gets on a bike, it's a person that gets in a car, and it's a person that gets on a flight. So when I am on that bike, let's say I'm going from Atlanta back to Jacksonville, right? If I'm on that bike, that's YouTube University. That's Instagram. I got bumps in the road, right? I'm following information, right? Just like when I'm on my bike, I'm looking to my left and my right, but there's way more bumps, way more potholes. I better have my helmet because I'm gonna fall and bump my head. But I have nobody to talk to because it's me on the bike. That's one person. The second person is a person in the car, right? If I'm in a car, that's like going to coaching, right? That's like joining a school community, right? One of many. I'm around people. You know, I'm kind of bouncing people ideas off of people. I kind of feel good. I'm gonna get there quicker if I execute, right? So that's you know still kind of potholes here or there because it's not the full mentorship. I'm in a community, right? So that's me in a car, but then it's me be on a plane, right? Be on a plane. That mentor is now the pilot, and that mentor's team is the stewardess, right? And then the people on that plane pay for the plane, so they are more open to partner with you. They're more open to do things with you because they know they want to get to that same destination like you. So I tell people all the time with mentorship, you want to be on a bike by yourself, you want to be in a car with a few people, or do you want to be on a plane? Everybody says a plane. You want to be on a plane? Let's spend that money, get first class.
So when you invest in mentorship, and I'm talking to the audience too, but also piggybacking off what you said, that opens up a whole different, like, relationship-based network. You get what I mean? Because for one, the person that you're investing the mentorship in, they're opening up their network to you. Yeah. You get what I mean? And they're coaching and they're validating you, so to speak. So that makes you look more official.
For sure.
And that all ties back into this whole marketing thing as well. Like, you know, like you said, like your followers went up, you know what I mean? Just from
proximity.
Proximity.
Yeah. So like a big one was so from again like stages of life. Like so again, my first like big mentor was Herm. Herm had at Investors. Herm had an event at InvestFest. I met Mikey. Shout out to 3D Viz. Hey y'all, if you guys are looking to build a property and you want somebody to walk you through step by step how to do it, go to 3D Visions on Instagram, on YouTube. Mikey Jenkins, he'll get you guys squared away. He builds luxury houses, amazing. So yeah, so we was at an event and he was gonna do an event. So Harmon said, "Hey man, if you need some speakers, have my guy Mario talk. Mario talk to my community. He's different." But Mikey didn't know me because I only got 8,000-9,000 followers. I mean, you know, so unless you scroll and looking for me, like you don't know me. Right. But again, because of the alley oop of Herm. I spoke at his event. We did content together. You know, he ran up his following like crazy. It helped me run up my following at the event. I shared game, following went up, got clients from it. Everybody wins. But it was not from Herman saying, "Hey, you need to have Mario speak at your event because he is going to give value that ain't nobody else doing." It speaks for itself. Now, if Herman saw me on Instagram or I did a little community base, he probably would have put that extra umph into saying, "Hey, Mike, you need to use him." But because he saw me in action, he saw I paid, he saw how serious I was about my craft, he went the extra way. And so, so it's the power of proximity for sure.
Power of proximity. I wanted to ask you, so you gave like at the beginning, like four pillars of what? Financial literacy, right? So we tackle what? 2 or 3 of them? We tackle probably 3 of them, right? That fourth one that you said, the trust.
Okay, yeah.
That's the protection, right?
That is protection. Yeah. So like, first off, you have two types of trust. So people talk about, oh, I got this. No. It's only two types of trust you can have: either a irrevocable trust or a revocable trust. Okay. A irrevocable trust is where you set it up, you can never make a change. Right, even to the point where a billionaire like not Sheldon Adelson, excuse me, a billionaire like Rupert Murdoch, right, the CEO of Fox News, he had a irrevocable trust, and his two kids that are liberals, he's conservative. They said, "Hey, when you die, I'm gonna give all my money to the Democratic Party." So he actually tried to take them off the irrevocable trust, and he took it to the Nevada Supreme Court, and they said, even though you paid all this money for legal fees, you can't do it. So that's an irrevocable trust. Then you have a revocable trust. A revocable trust is you can make changes anytime you want to. It doesn't matter if you just did the trust or if it's 10, 15, 20, 30 years later. The time that you're living, you can make changes. Now, once you die, you can't make any changes. So when the person says, I want a land trust, that's a revocable trust, right? Where I put my land in that trust, and as I acquire more property, I update the trust. So a land trust is not something different, it's a revocable trust. Right. When they want to do a legacy trust, that's a revocable trust. Okay. Where as kids come in, beneficiaries, we tell them what to do, and then when they die, it turns from a revocable trust to an irrevocable trust. Because when the two people who set up the trust die, you can't make changes. It becomes irrevocable. So 99% of the time, we recommend a person do a revocable trust. We actually have our own estate planning platform. We have over 1,000 subscribers who subscribe to our platform to create their own revocable living trust, will, and power of attorney. It's called the relaxestate.com. So it's very, very, very important for you. And people say, okay, well, when should I get a trust? Anybody that has a house. Yeah. Because if something happens to you, no, probate court is going to take 3% of your assets. So if your house is $500,000, 3% of that is gone. What's that? Just like that. I mean, that's $15,000, $20,000, right? And if you owe a person, then the creditors come in. They say, hey, before you get this house, you need to pay us. So that means you might have to sell the house. You might have to take a loan against the house. Right? Yeah. It's just very, very costly. But since a trust is private, it passes to the beneficiaries. And the key is people say, well, I want an irrevocable trust because I don't have to pay taxes. Stop the cap. Yeah. If things are structured properly, if you are single and have less than $15 million, all that money passes down with a revocable trust. You don't pay taxes. Okay. And if you're married with less than $30 million, all that money passes down to your family through a revocable trust. You don't pay taxes. So unless you have $30+ million, what's the real reason to have an irrevocable trust?
It's this whole new hostage, essentially, right?
Yeah, in my opinion, yeah. Now, like Trump or Sheldon Adelson, who got more than 30 million, then the irrevocable trust makes sense. But for 99.9% of humans who just living life, paying bills, having fun, get into the bag, even a revocable living trust solves all those problems.
Yeah. So I was at a mastermind, and I don't know if you know Shane, but Shane, so he was talking about trust, and he said that somebody of Donald Trump's stature, he has like a 12-layer trust. Can you break that down? Like, what does he mean?
Yeah. So basically, every trust does different things, right? So again, he has irrevocable trust. So again, since you can't make changes, he has one irrevocable trust that takes care of all of the land. He has another irrevocable trust that takes care of all of the assets. He has one irrevocable trust that talks about like the beneficiaries. So he has different trusts that does different things because they're irrevocable. You can't make any changes, right? But again, with a revocable trust, you can have that one trust, and inside the trust you have what you call the additions and restrictions. Okay. So it's basically who gets what when you die, okay? And then who gets what, but then also how old they got to be. So like, hey, you can't get the money until you graduate college. Right. You can't get the money until you turn 30. I like to do all our trusts have a commingling clause, meaning that, hey, my daughter, you get the money, but the money can only go into your name, and we're going to open up a trust for you. So if you get divorced to your husband, he can't get that money, right? Yeah. And then also, if you guys have, stepkids, whatever, the money only goes to my biological grandkids. Love the stepkids, but only goes to my biological grandkids. So like that's the additions and restrictions part. So you can make additions and then restrict who gets what and when they get it. And that's also layered inside your trust.
Gotcha. So can you put like life insurance policies and all that? Does that also go into the trust as well? So
yeah. Great question.
Allocated?
And people get in trouble with this. So with your life insurance, the life insurance should be it should be in the trust. So you have what you call schedule of assets. So all my assets I name in the trust. I got a bank account with here, that's in the trust. I got a investment account here that goes to the trust. I got a life insurance. So then we have a life insurance policy, right? The owner of the life insurance policy should not be the trust. You don't want to do that. Right. You want to make the beneficiary of the life insurance policy the trust. Right. Gotcha. So let's say it's something. So with me, I have a trust. So me and my wife, we have a trust. So something, if we pass away, then those assets go directly into the trust. And then the trust says who gets what.
Gotcha.
So your life insurance policy is not over the trust. Your life insurance policy, your trust is the beneficiary of that life insurance policy. Yeah. So you want the life insurance to flow through the trust, and then the trust says who gets what. Gets it. Yeah. So if it's a $5 million policy, you might say you get $1 million. You get another $500,000 when you graduate. You get another $500,000 when you turn 30. You get another $3 million if you maintain a business, right? You get to put restrictions on that. Yeah. But if the life insurance policy, they just get it, if it's not in the trust, they don't got to abide by the trust, right? But if the money goes to the trust first, they have to abide by it. So you want to make sure your life insurance policy, beneficiary wise, is the trust, not the owner. So you do not want to make a life insurance policy owner a trust. You want to make it the beneficiary.
Beneficiary of the trust. Got you. I know a lot of Black families go through probate, man. I know, like, it's probably, man, it's sad to say the least.
Yeah.
How, like, if you can break it down to somebody like a third grader or something, like why a trust is so important, you know what I mean? And why to basically protect your assets.
Yeah.
What's the process of doing it? Because it sounds like, when you speak financially to a lot of the, the hoods and, you know what I mean? People that aren't like aware of this, it sounds like it's way over their head. So how easy is it to like set up a trust? Man,
it's so easy. When you go to our website, www.therelaxestate.com, you can do your trust, your will, power of attorney in less than 30 minutes. So, it's very, very easy. People think it's just this big old thing. Like, literally, it's just documentation.
Yeah.
It's documentation that's created by an attorney, and it has to get notarized.
Okay.
That's it. You don't have to file it with the clerk of courts. That's another mistake people make. A trust is private. It's a private documentation. We knew all that was going on with James Brown and his family because he had a will. We don't know nothing that went on with Betty White because she had a trust.
Yeah.
It's a private document. So literally an attorney creates it and then you get it notarized. That's it. Or with our platform, since we have documentation created by attorneys already, you just fill in your information, your name, date of birth, beneficiary, who gets what, you print it out, you get it notarized, it's done.
Yeah.
And so, a trust is very, very easy to do. People make it seem like it's very, very hard or it's just this tedious thing, but it's just documentation created by an attorney.
So is it costly? Like how costly is it?
Would depend on who you use. Like, so for our platform, we start off at $1,500.
Okay.
The national average for a trust is about $4,000.
Gotcha.
So again, we're about $3,000 less than the national average. But yeah, our attorneys charge different. But okay, so let's say I pay $1,500. I pay $4,000. If I have a house that's worth $200,000, 3% is $6,000. When I die, probate court's going to charge $6,000 to get my house. Probate is 15 months. So now I got to wait 15 months to get my house. Now I got to pay an attorney also at least $2,500 to get it out of probate. So I'm already out my pocket $8,000 and 15 months of time that I never get back.
Well, you could just pay the $1,500.
Pay the $1,500. Be done with it.
Be done with it.
And then also, if I'm a business owner, it's a tax deduction because we structure when you do your trust, it's through the business. It's a tax deduction.
There you go. It's a different game. It's just a different game. You gotta just tap in and not be lazy to actually educate yourself, because the information is out there. Like you said, the information is free. But do you think it's important, like when you gave that analogy about the bike, the car, and the plane, do you think it's very important to go through all those steps initially?
So important, but it's a waste of time. So you went to Disney World before?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. They have a thing called the Fast Pass.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I want you to take the Fast Pass. I don't want you to wait in line for, so like the average person rides 3 rides in Disney. Average person with a Fast Pass rides 11 rides. Right?
Get way more for their money.
Yeah. My point.
There you go. Like Neo say, success loves speed.
Success loves speed. Neo's awesome, man.
Yeah, that's my
shout out to Neo, man. So I was one of those people from afar watching Neo for years, and now again through the mentorship with Marcus, I'm able to have we had like an intimate conversation. And it's just cool, but that's why mentorship's important. Like so, even though like he did the Myron Golden mentorship like I did. Now I did 100,000 a day. They did 5 million a day. So it's levels even with mentorship, right? Definitely. So shouts out to him and Marcus and Shans, right? So, but even being in the same room, having the same mentors, the proximity is important, right? So my proximity to Myron Golden was one thing, but my proximity to Marcus allowed me to have a conversation with him, right? So it's just so I would say get on that plane, right?
Man, I'm such a fan of Myron Golden, man. He is so like man, he's so inspiring, but he is so like knowledgeable about and how he breaks it down is so simplified. It just make you be like, duh. Like, you get what I mean? How was it like? I'm very interested. Like, how is it like being in that proximity? Because I met Myron one time at the Circle of CEO event. Okay. So I met him, but I haven't got a chance to actually fully dive in and talk to him. Yeah. That's a bright dude, man.
Man, he's inspiring, man. And the biggest thing I like about him is he's biblical based. So I'm a Christian.
Absolutely.
Like the Lord woke me up, like like the Lord saved my life. Like I was in the Army. When I was in college, I was in the reserves. I sprained my ankle playing basketball. I had a blood clot, didn't know about it, did a CAT scan. If they ain't take out that blood clot in 72 hours, I would have died.
Wow.
No idea. So I said, the Lord put me here for a reason. But I look at it because like a lot of people in the church, like they're scared to talk about money, they're penny pinching, like they're cheap. And like he breaks it down from a biblical standpoint. Like he talks about King Solomon. He talks about how like, most individuals who were successful in the Bible were entrepreneurs. Yeah. Right. So I love how he breaks it down from a biblical standpoint. So me, knowing that money is the root of all evil, if it's greed, but if it's prosperity and you're actually helping people, you get blessed because of that. Absolutely. That mindset, right? Absolutely. So even with Myron, I was watching him on YouTube for a year and a half. Yeah. So when I say listen to me because I bumped my head, like life would have been way better if a year and a half I watched him on YouTube, I would just pay that $55,000 and been his mentee a year and a half earlier. Yeah. Right. Definitely. So yeah, but it's just incredible the knowledge, and then also for him, like he'll tell a story. He was an insurance agent for 3 years and didn't make a dime. Right? Because he was doing the wrong thing, putting the wrong systems in place. So you're learning from a person that has been there, done that, the positives and the negatives, right? And so I love about him. He's transparent. He tells people about like his faults, his wins. He breaks things down. One of the big things for me was offers. Yeah. So again, just from Herman to Myron, I kind of had that one offer. We kind of manage your money, we do everything, but like, that's not helping you because I'm giving you all this information. You're not acting on it because you're not paying. It's human nature. You pay attention when you pay. So it was huge on making the offer. And also my worth is my worth. Right. So like I was undercharging people dramatically. Like I'm providing premium service. I got a freaking symbol LETB. Google it. Like I had an ETF on the market, the first black-owned AI-powered ETF on the market ever for 2.5 years until we took it off and got us a bag on the back end, right? So like it's premium service. Why am I giving you Versace and Gucci service, but at a Dollar Tree price?
Man. Talk about it.
Because people pay when they pay attention. Right? When I pay for something premium, I think about it different, right? It could be the same leather coat in my closet. But that leather coat from Gucci, I'm gonna put that on and step out. Fact. Right. The one from Kohl's, you know, Milwaukee, right? The one from Kohl's, I'm gonna put it on, but I don't feel as good. Right. So yeah, so like knowing those two things, like, hey, like I got a value, and it allowed me to scale and scale with more clients doing like my YouTube content, right? But then also scale financially because now people are paying more. And since they pay more, I hire more staff. Before them, I had about 4 or 5 employees, and I have 17, right? So since I'm able to bring in more money, I'm able to provide a way larger value because you have more resources.
I think that's deeply rooted with our community though, man. Like we feel some sort of guilt when we, you know what I mean, acquire a skill and then you have to put a price tag on it, and then you want to look out for people, but it's like, okay, people don't appreciate cheap. Like when you look at it from a consumer perspective, people don't appreciate cheap. So you got to treat your business as such. Like I can't go out there cheap. I have to be premium. And that's when you gain the confidence to be willing to charge premium prices. I also think with Myron teaching that, that guilt of feeling like wealth is something that we shouldn't strive for in this life because, you know, all the biblical, whatever the religion teaching is. And then he counters that, you know what I mean? And that's what I love about it, because we have such it's like a connotation of be humble in this life and don't, you know what I mean? And I just feel like that keeps a lot of people down, where they keep their lid.
Yeah. And this is for all my entrepreneurs that please listen to this closely. And Myron broke this down, so you have to pay $55,000 like I did for this, right? So like when it comes to pricing, when people pay, people expect the same service. So if you have a service you provide, if you charge $5,000 or $10,000 or even $1,500, they're still going to want the same amount of service. So like it's hurting me as a business owner serving you if I'm charging you $1,500, because it's a lot more people that's taking my time, right? But what happens is that if I can charge you $5,000, that's going to weed out some people. So now since you paid more money, you're naturally going to get more service, right? So if you break it down, if it's 10 people, if I offer a person 10 people the same service, right? Out of 10 people, 8 people say yes to my $2,500 service, all right? So that's $20,000, right? Or the same people, then 6 people say yes to my $10,000 service, right? Well, no. I'll say 4 people say yes. So half the people, but I made $40,000, not $20,000. So I made double, but now I have more time. So that more time can go to the clients that paid me. Everybody wins.
Everybody win across the board. I ain't gonna hold you too longer, man. There's so much value information, man. I could talk to you for hours. Where do you see AI going in the future, and are you implementing in your business right now?
Man, what? Again, our estate planning platform is AI. Like when we launched our fund on the stock market, symbol LETB, that was on algorithmic trading. So AI is huge, and AI is not going anywhere. And AI is going to take jobs if you do not implement it.
Did y'all hear that, man? Can you say it again?
AI is going to take your job if you don't implement it, right? So it's 2 people who use AI to grow, or people that say the heck with AI that's going to lose their job. The ones that are going to be successful, in my opinion, are going to be the ones that use AI. Because with AI, you're able to do things that you could not do, right? So like before, when we did like proposals for clients, you know, we was typing in and stuff like that. We have a prompt, we put the information in, it gives us about 80%, and then the other 20% is us, right? So I can help more people. I can add more value because of AI, right? So AI is huge, and unfortunately, like I said, it's going to take jobs away, and that's why it goes back to, especially W-2 employees. Like Amazon let off 51,000 people. Amazon,
tell people,
right? So like it is so important. If you're a W-2, that's why it's so important again to get you that side gig. If you're in a corporate America for 10 years, if I'm 30 years old, if I'm 32 years old, I've been in corporate America for 10 years. It's a 22-year-old who would love the knowledge of how you've been in corporate America for 10 years, right? How you was able to navigate with your boss that didn't like you for a few years, right? You got transferred to another department. How was you able to cultivate relationships for you to get raises and things of that nature? They would kill for that. So charge. Everybody with a W-2 job, you need to be some type of consultant or some type of coach. If not, you're doing the community and the world a disservice.
Doing each one teach one, right?
Yeah, and I think that's another reason why like we have so many people jumping from job to job. They say like the average 28-year-old has had 8 different jobs. Right? It's no direction. You compare that to like 30 years ago, you know, like you got a job, 2 or 3 jobs and you're done, right? Yeah. Because it's no direction. You get a $2,000 or $3,000 offer raise from somewhere else, you go to another job. Well, that might not be smart because you're losing vacation time, you're losing your matching your 401k. But you had a mentor say, hey, you've been in this job, you didn't get that raise, but 2, 3, 4 years from now, what could happen? Right. Like if you had that mentorship, I think that would be so huge for people in their career starting. So like if you're in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, and you're a W-2 employee, be a consultant, please, 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 because you're going to be able to help people and you get paid. And it's a tax deduction. So everything you do now is a tax deduction.
Please educate these people, man. I do my part, but when you're hearing it from a 7-figure entrepreneur,
facts.
You know what I mean, on his way to 8-figure, 9 figures, because he's paying for the information to go to the next level, you start to grasp the idea like, man, this is a whole different game than people are playing. It's a different side of the spectrum that most of the world, unfortunately, just isn't taking heed to right now.
No, take heed to it, man. It's a mindset. My mindset goes a long way. Again, like I said, you know, for a year and a half, I was watching Myron Golden on YouTube. So I had the mindset. So it's not like I'm smarter than a person or I'm like this genius. Is that you just have to have that mindset shift. Once you have that mindset shift, life changes. And you're able to do like tonight in about 2 hours, I'll be courtside, my feet on the wood. Pause, but my feet on the wood at a Hawks game.
Man,
right?
Different life.
Yeah.
How does it feel? Like, can you even describe the feeling of like the financial freedom that you're experiencing now? Like,
no, I can't. And again, this goes for a person. I've been making $1 million a year probably for the last 9 years. So like I've had the financial wherewithal. But like it's just different as you grow financially, as things accumulate, and as the IRS helps me. Because again, for the first few years I was making millions of dollars, I was paying so much in taxes because I didn't have my stuff structured properly. And so it's, again, I'm just being honest. Like, so here I'm managing money, telling people how to do tax strategies, but I wasn't doing it myself, right? So I was recommending, but not living. And so I got a $516,000 tax bill. I repeat, I got a $516,000 tax bill because you know we do stocks. So I'm buying and selling stocks, making a lot of money in the stock market, right? But because of short-term capital gains, I'm getting knocked over the head. And I'm like, man, let me practice what I preach. That's when I started leaning into real estate. You know, instead of buying a stock, doing real estate, cash out refi, and now the real estate portfolio was crazy, and I ain't paid taxes in almost 6 years.
And you can leave your stocks alone. Unrealized gains.
Alone,
See, we could tap all the way into that because stocks is a whole nother conversation. But man, you gonna have to come back, Mario. Man, give it. Man, he just dropped so many gems, man. Before we leave, can you give like 3 actionable steps that the people can like actually take if there's either starting entrepreneurship? So 2 parts.
Yeah.
Somebody that's starting entrepreneurship, 3 actionable steps that they could take to be on that financial road to prosperity.
Okay.
And then somebody that's shifting from the W-2 and trying to, grasp the idea of it.
Yeah, cool. So if I'm an entrepreneur, 3 things. Number 1, make sure that your business is structured properly, right? Making sure you have your LLCs in place. Make sure you're not commingling your money. If it's personal money, it should be personal. Business money should be business. But if it's structured properly, everything should be business, right? So that's definitely number 1. Number 2, mentorship. Now, when I say mentorship, I mean you want to get you a mentor that's not like the best of the field. I say get a mentor that's 3 or 4 steps ahead of you, right? It's like a real estate agent. I'm here. I want to get a person that's on the 5th floor, not in the penthouse. Person in the penthouse, they've been there, done that. It's like they forgot so much stuff. Like they're in a whole new level. You want to get a person. So if I'm middle estate agent making $100 grand, I want to find somebody making $400 grand, not $3 million, because like they've been out the loop so long to get that 400 grand. Like, it's going to take longer. So you just get a mentor for sure, but get one that's, like I said, 2 or 3 steps ahead of you. And then the third thing, your bookkeeping. So we'll talk about structure, mentorship, but your bookkeeping. Your bookkeeping is so important because everybody wants funding. And the reason why a lot of entrepreneurs don't get funding is because the bookkeeping is not correct, right? Because you have, like I said, your personal money with your business money. You don't have your bank account set up squared away, but having bookkeeping identifies from the P&L standpoint what you got coming in, what you got going out, so then you can budget and forecast how much I'm going to spend. Hey, I can spend another $5,000 or $10,000 on Facebook ads. That's number 4. I know you said 3 or 4. Y'all run Facebook ads. Facebook ads are usually a 3x return on your money, right? Don't be cheap. Run Facebook ads. I think those 4 things as an entrepreneur will get you a long way.
Yeah, there you have it, man. Mario Payne, I appreciate you stopping by the podcast, man. It's so much that we can still unpack because he didn't even get into the tax laws. He got so much game. He's an award-winning book. You got an award-winning book, right?
Yeah, international best-selling author. You have The Relaxed Investor. The Relaxed Investor. Y'all can find it on Amazon or just Google it. We have a book funnel. But yeah, The Relaxed Investor. It talks about how to be a successful investor, either in yourself or in investing in assets through conquering fear and self-discovery. Mindset, right? We're scared to do things because of fear. But once we have that mindset shift and we discover ourselves self-discovery wise, the world is our oasis.
That light bulb goes off. Mario, drop all your social media handles so all my people can stay in contact with you and just continue getting these gems, man.
Yeah. Everything's the same at Painful Profits because our profits can be painful. So Painful, PAYNEFUL Profits. So on all social media platforms, Painful Profits. And if you want to do your trust, your will, and your power of attorney, have AI do it with licensed estate attorneys doing it for you. Our website is www.relax, RELAX, estate, ESTATE.com.
There you have it, man. Mario, it's been a pleasure, man.
Pleasure all mine, man. Appreciate
you gotta come back, man.
Yeah, for
there
sure.
we have it, man. That's been another episode of Convo with Crown. Mr. Mario Payne, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Like, share, and subscribe. And stay in contact with this man because he got so much game, man. We'll holler back. 1.